Well, I would like to thank Ron and whoever helped her at Weizmann Institution to host this seminar, which give us very good opportunity to introduce you our project, EduNano project. Small correction, Slavka, the LMS is Project LMS site and not Tel Aviv University, because all the infrastructure is a mutual infrastructure of the project. We are hosting the infrastructure, but the infrastructure is Project EduNano project infrastructure. Well, since we are talking about EU projects, I will say a few words about networking, international networking. Me and Danilo met each other in previous EU project, Network of Excellence. We worked for 2 years together, and then Danilo introduced me to Slavka, and we submitted 2 projects on nanoskills, NanoL, which were also on building fully online courses. Later on, I introduced Slavka and Danilo to our Israeli partners to submit this project, the EduNano project, and now recently we've been informed that we awarded for an additional project on building courses. So if you have a bunch of people working together with a good synergy and cooperation, then you can do a lot of nice things. This project gives us the means to buy new equipment. If you can see, the camera and the tripod and the computer all have stickers of Tempus. Most of this equipment and the servers that we bought for facilitating the video and LMS all are purchased by the money that we get from this project. And of course, this project gives us the means to build new courses, which we would like to develop anyway. So mostly it is a win-win situation for us. So we enjoy quite a lot working and collaborating for this project. And now I would like to say a few words just before I start about e-learning. I'm sure you are all aware that the amount of knowledge the humankind is accumulating now is growing almost exponentially. I mean, we are flooded with information and knowledge, and this brings to our life almost every day new working methodologies, new technologies. And for example, even if you are a mechanic in a garage today, you need to work with computers to diagnose some problem in the car that you would like to repair. If you are a secretary in a law firm, you most probably will, from time to time, meet a new operating system, a new software of word processing, a new copy machine, which is much more than copy machine today, copy machine. And if you just not at work, you want to travel, you need to book your tickets online. If you want to travel to drive your car from one point to another point, you need to go through very complicated network of highways, which you will need to use your GPS and your smartphone. And you arrive home, you most probably will need to deal with a new smart TV that you bought, and you need to learn how to optimize all the features that this equipment is offering you, like, let's say, surfing the net, using the Skype with your TV. What I'm trying to say that you need to be a lifelong learner. I mean, you need to learn all the time. Not to mention, if you are a researcher, educator, you need to learn all the time. Whatever you learn, let's say after you finish high school or university, is relevant for a very short term, and then you need to keep on learning. The question that we need to ask ourselves now, whether the current contemporary education system, face-to-face traditional system, can meet such a large growth in need for education. And I think that it is not going to be so, at least in the near future. Today is hardly we can deal with this, but in the near future it will be completely impossible to meet all this growing need for education only by traditional face-to-face learning. So we are luckily the technology that brings this problem, create this problem, also offers some sort of solution. And the solution is e-learning. I mean, using e-learning, most probably we will be able to meet this growing need for education, and we will be able to keep being lifelong learners. The other thing that I would like to talk about in very briefly is cooperation and competition. I think competition brings about excellence. Universities need to, at some degree, compete with each other for being excellent in something. But yet we need also to collaborate. I mean, if we can find the right balance between collaboration and competition, then we can use our resources at optimal level. What I mean is that we need to find the way that we can collaborate, we can cooperate, we can share resources, yet we need to be able to maintain some level of competition. This is what we had in our mind when we just submitted this project. What we are doing now, we are using share resources, share pedagogical access, but the final product is completely brand of each university. Although each university has his complete freedom to use any pedagogical approach that it likes, yet we can use our resources, let's say, for example, recording, video infrastructure, video servers, learning management servers, things that can be easily cooperated, and they still give us the opportunity to compete and to promote our brand name of our university. Okay, this was a very short introduction. Let's go. Okay. Now I would like to talk specifically about the role of the video inside the e-learning. One picture is worth 1,000 words. It's completely true, and if it is more true when we talk about video, because video frame is usually combined of 25 or 30 individual pictures. What I'm trying to say is that if we use text or audio or audio clips in e-learning, when it comes to video, actually it gathers all together. We can use video for text, slides, audio, and of course video. So the video is, at least at my point, maybe I'm not so objective, but at least in my point, is one of the key elements in e-learning. And what we started with this process some 10 years or even 12 years ago. When we first started using video to support face-to-face learning, it was not so easy because the infrastructure wasn't ready yet. We didn't have powerful enough computer power to encode high-quality video. There was no bandwidth available to access using the internet video clips to watch them home, and so on. What we did, at least we started to simulate the classroom experience, or in other words, to bring the being in classroom experience to the web. We tried to gather the whole input that student has at the classroom, which is, let's say, the site of the lecturer, his PowerPoint presentation, and his audio. We gather all this information in in-house built format, and we use it since then. Now we know that the optimal distance learning shouldn't be like the face-to-face learning. We need to change the paradigm. Actually, the technology is forcing us to change the paradigm. Now, because of the flood of information, and we know that in some disciplines, sometimes students know better than the teachers. We are now believe that the students should be at the center of the teaching learning process, and we also know that there is no such a thing like knowledge transfer, what we used to think some time ago. We now believe that knowledge is something individual, and it needs to be built for each student individually. We can give the students the means, we can give the students, facilitate the students with data, knowledge, information, but not knowledge, information, but student need to assimilate this input and build his own knowledge. Well, this was a short background about the rationale of our project. Now I would like to talk more technically. To begin with, I would like to show you our learning management site. It's based on Moodle, which is open source learning management system. Most of the universities in Israel do use this system. He has a large community, developers community, which works for free, just as a service to the society. You can ask questions online, and you most probably will get in no time answers to almost all the problems that you encounter. I will show you maybe the structure of the LMS. This is the opening page. You can see here that we have a list of universities participating in the project. We have all 6 research universities, and then 3 European partners, and also SNI, which is Shmuel Neiman Institution. You can see here with each university we have the number of courses developed by the same university. I can go just show you one course. Maybe I will choose, sorry not being so objective, but I will use some Tel Aviv University course. Let's go to atomic simulation course. As you can see, we have already some, let's say, 20 lectures recorded. Per each lecture you have some homework, you have some additional content. We will keep on enriching these lectures, fortify them by additional learning content. And we have, of course, the PowerPoint presentation, but we have also the video. This is how the video looks like. You don't need the sound, so I will keep it silent. I don't want to compete with him. Anyway, you can see the screen is divided in 1/3 and 2/3 of the frame. At the right side, you have the PowerPoint presentation. It is embedded digitally inside the video in the process of recording, so we don't have to do any editing. It is very rapid process. At the end of the lecture, we just trim the beginning and at the end of the lecture, and we just upload it to the Moodle, and it is almost immediately available to the students. We have some branding around the picture, and the one other feature is that we can also live webcast it in real time, and if it takes, we can allow some chat software affiliated with this website, so students, if they watch this lecture on real time live, they can ask questions to the professor. We have also a reservoir or repository of clean room lectures that we are recording. I can just show you a short clip. This is, for example, a recording that made in a clean room. You can see that David from Tel Aviv University demonstrating some process, but during the process he used computer interface, some software that control and monitor the process that he is doing. In this case, I can take the screen of his computer and embed it in the video. It is done once again automatically, so you can have very good of both things, the software that's running and the lecturer, or in this case David, explaining the process that he is going through. Okay, let's go. These things I already show you. I will show you now the 2 additional dissemination channels that we are using other than learning management system, the websites of each university and the website of the project hosted by Technical University of Sofia. This is the YouTube channel of the project. We will hopefully be able to upload more and more content here, content which there is no IP problem with it. For example, the recording that we are doing here, most probably in next couple of days, will be the project YouTube channel. And other dissemination channel that we are using is our Facebook. I mean, we need to keep on with the young people and the things that they do use nowadays for communication. So these are probably the best way to communicate with young people. This is already a picture taken yesterday in a meeting that in IVS event that we had here at Weizmann Institution. Okay, a little bit about the project coordination. This is quite a resource and time-consuming process. We are, at least in Israel, 9 partners or 8? 9, I think. And 8 and 3 local. 8, okay. We have daily based problems like problems with regulations, problems with equipment purchase, for example, questions regarding how to process things. This is this and some technical support, at least on video recording and course production. This is what Tel Aviv University does, other than producing these 2 courses and additional reservoir repository that I mentioned before. And we, of course, are the interface between Israeli partners and local Erasmus Plus office. And I must say now that without the very, very, let's say, friendly attitude of our National Erasmus Office, we wouldn't solve some of the problems, and we had quite a lot of problems until now with the project in terms of buying things, how to do things, and the bureaucracy in this project is quite high, and without real help and support, it is hard to go on with all the problems that we are facing daily. But I think we are, most of the partners are quite familiar with the rules, and things are beginning to go more smoothly. About the dissemination and sustainability, my belief is that even if you do a perfect project with exceptional outcomes, if you don't disseminate it and nobody uses it, it's pretty much like you haven't done anything. So we would like to spend as much as needed to make this project disseminated, well-known, and most important, that the universities will use it. What we would like to do is all main 3 stakeholders, the high schools, academy, and the industry, should be engaged as much as possible. So we already started to get in contact with leading Israeli companies and try to engage them. We do this through INI, which is Israeli National Nano Initiation. We already formulated a few letters and sent them to the leading industrial companies. We are in touch with high schools. We would like to engage more high schools, maybe even colleges like HIT or ORT, to take part on this project, because we believe today's high school students is tomorrow nanotechnology students, and later on, the day after, they will be the workers of the industry, and we need to take all this ecosystem of nano education inside this project. We, of course, finished, last slide. We have ECTS, which Danilo after me will talk about it. And we will now brainstorming some business models, how to keep this project going after the end of its life cycle. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. code in there.